Welcome to the next section of our course, Generative AI in Software Automation Testing. And today, in this section, we are going to talk about some of the use cases of using Playwright for performing automation testing using Gen AI, and also how we can leverage the power of ChatGPT to perform UI automation testing much easier using Gen AI. Well, I said about the use cases of using Gen AI, we are going to be talking about some of the tools which are custom built to use the large language model and Gen AI to perform the automation testing. But before even I go there, I'm first of all going to use our usual way of using the ChatGPT or large language models to perform the automation testing using Playwright. So if you really not heard about the tool called as Playwright, we just go and search for Playwright in the Google. You will see that we have this website called as playwright.dev. So if you just go there, this is one of the most popular automation testing tool these days, which is going to be helpful to automate modern web application much easier. And you can see that it is cross-platform. It's also cross-browser support. It does quite a lot of different operation over here. I have quite a lot of different courses in Udemy itself for Playwright with C#, .NET, and also with the Java, TypeScript, and many other language support, whatever that the Playwright does offer. So we have the courses for that. That's not the point. The idea is how we can make use of the Playwright for performing the automation testing with the power of the Gen AI. So the first thing, as you already know, like what we have been doing for Selenium as well as for the other automation testing tool, I'm just going to perform some of the UI automation testing with our eaapp.swami.com website, which is going to be nothing but this one, and we'll see how we can achieve that. But before I even get there, I already have a code which is written over here in C#.NET, and I will show you that this code has got quite a lot of details over here. It has got a framework which is built from the complete ground up, and also it has got some detail like how you can write things in a more better and sophisticated fashion, as you can see over here. But now the point is how we can use the Playwright code generator, which generates the code for you automatically by doing some record and playback. We're going to use that code from the Playwright, and then we are going to ask the Gen AI tool to generate the code. So we'll see how we can achieve that. So I'm going to go to the console over here, and I'm going to do this pwsh of the /playwright.ps1 of CodeGen, and this is the website, the eaapp.swami.com website, which I need to generate the code. These details I have covered in my other courses, and because this course has nothing to do with the Playwright itself, I'm not going to tell you what this code generator and how these things are all going to be taken care behind the scene. So once I run this command, you'll notice that behind the scene, there is going to be a Playwright inspector pops in, and it is going to start generating the code for me over here. So any action that I perform, it starts generating the code on the right hand side. So if I just go click this button, you see that it generates a code for that. Similarly, if I'm going to type some value like admin and password, and if I hit login, you will see that it is going to create the code for me over here behind the scene. And then if I click the employee list, hit create new and fill any form, it is going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hit this log off. So the code is already generated for me over here. I can now use this source code and I can perform the operation that I'm looking for. For instance, if I want to write a framework kind of code or maybe data-driven kind of code, I can do that. So I'm just going to copy this entire code. Now I'm going to go turn my attention to ChatGPT over here, and I'm going to say, analyze this Playwright code and write it in page object model with Playwright. Look at that. I'm just going to do exactly the same way like how I did for Selenium, but I'm not even writing a single line of code. I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to do it for me, and you will notice that the large language model is just going to understand that, okay, there we go. There are 3 pages involved here because you're doing a login operation, a home page operation, and an employee page operation. So I'll go create 3 pages for you. Look at that. It's all going to happen for me over here. And it is generating the entire code in a C#.NET way, which is amazing. Do you see that? It is so good. It also writes everything in a very neat coding standard. and it does those operations for me over here, which is amazing. And it has already written the entire code for me over here in the main method instead of really any test framework that I have to use. I can probably ask him to write it in the X unit test framework as well, and it just does that. Just replace the main method with the X unit test framework and add assertions using fluent assertion. So that is another library that we can use to perform the assertions of any of the operations that we're looking for. You can see that immediately ChatGPT is on it, and then it understood what it's trying to do, and then it is now trying to write things for me over here. And you see that because I asked it to write some assertion, then it is writing some methods for the login page that is login successful, and then it is saying if the log off link is visible. Amazing, right? Because you do a login over here, then the log off link should be visible. So once you log on, so you can see that once I log in, there'll be a log off link will be visible there automatically. So it also writes that thing for me over here. He said that even the locator is 100% is correct based on the code that we have given. The chat GPT can just think that, okay, this could be the locator most probably from the UI, and then it has already done the assertion things for me over there. And look at that, so beautiful. It has already done three test methods, like 1, 2, and 3 test methods with the assertions as well, which is amazing. It has already written in the X unit, and also it has written the fluent assertion, and with the addition, it has also written an async lifetime in for the initialize and dispose the object of the playwright driver, just this one, at the end of the test execution. And you can see that it has inherited this interface async lifetime, which is awesome. So it's doing quite a lot of good practices already by default over here. This is quite good. This is how things are going to happen while we use the large language model to perform the automation testing. That is the first half of the battle that I wanted to explain you. But the next thing which I wanted to explain you in this particular section is going to be how we can use some third-party tools to do these operations for me if I don't know what or how to write the player test code for me. So there are some tools for that matter. It's called as zero step. So if you see this one, zero step, it adds the AI to your playwright test. So this is going to be another tool that we are going to be discussing in our next lecture. And this lecture is going to help you understand how you can just write in like a user readable format, and it will convert things for you, and it will does everything for you behind the scene. So we are going to see how we can do that using this tool. It's a paid tool, of course, but it has got some free tier as well. And then we're also going to be discussing another use case of using Gen AI in the playwright automation testing, which is going to be auto playwright. So just go and search for auto playwright, and that's the tool that we are going to be talking about next one. So I have already covered those things in my YouTube, which is these, as you can see over here, and that's what I'm going to be adding it as part of this particular course. So mostly the couple of lectures that you're going to be seeing after this lecture are all already inherited from my YouTube videos. I've just edited a bit, and then I just added that over here. So just enjoy and see how the Gen AI is going to be taking everything by storm and writing things for you much easily.